Good morning. Magandang umaga po. The question I always have in my mind is, what is an LGU? There are some requirements that you should have an acceptance letter from your LGU, meaning local government unit. I don't know what a local government unit is, and I don't know who to approach to get what. Another vlogger said that she received a comment from one of her viewers who said, I asked an LGU if they can provide me with the acceptance letter. And the LGU said, but mom, we're no longer issuing acceptance letter. There's a requirement that they should issue an acceptance letter, and this LGU said they're not issuing an acceptance letter. I don't even know if they know what she's talking about. That's crazy. That's what we're going to talk about. Stay with me. The government has a lot of requirements. Before you can enter, you need this and you need that. The one comment in my earlier video expressed his experience that he called the department or the Department of Tourism in the Philippines or Department of Foreign Affairs, Bureau of Immigration, and they said, oh, talk to your Philippine consulate office where you're located, that has jurisdiction over you, and they will be able to give you a 9A visa. 9A visa. Then they go and they said, oh, sir, we are not issuing 9A visas. Can you imagine that? That is the problem. Here's another one. Requirement, you need to have an acceptance letter that your LGU will accept you because of our pandemic in the country. They said, we're not issuing acceptance letter. So how can you comply? How can you comply? So here I am. What's an LGU? To be honest, I had no idea. So I had to do a little bit of research, and let me show you what I found out. In my research, I found out that the local government unit is everything from the president down. You've got provinces, independent cities, then you have component cities under provinces, municipalities, right here, municipalities, and then below those are the so-called barangays. Barangay is the lowest unit. Maybe it's a small town, a barrio, and then in the independent cities, they're so-called independent cities, and they also have barangays. They don't have that. They don't have this middle layer. The middle layer does not exist. And then you have autonomous regions. The way I read this is like the American Indians in the United States. They have their own government. Autonomous regions, and they also have provinces, independent cities, and I think this is more in the Marawi. I think Marawi is an autonomous region, and they also have component cities, municipalities, and barangays. So that's a lot. There's a lot. So the government needs to give us guidance as to where do we get this so-called acceptance letter, and they should coordinate with these people and make sure they understand what kind of acceptance letter is being requested of them. If they say they don't even know what it is, then we have a problem, right? We have a problem. I'm stuck. I'd like to comply with the law, but nobody knows the law. I did further research. The problem in the Philippines is not everybody has email. Not everybody responds to email. Not everybody has website. Not everybody answers the phone, but most of them have telephone numbers. Okay? And this is what we have to deal with. Okay? And these people in America are used to things being well organized. Well, we also have some mess here in the United States. We're not perfect, but it's much, much better, much, much clearer on what you need to do compared to the Philippines. Philippines, the chiefs up on top will say, you need to get a letter from your barangay or from your LGU that they're accepting this and blah, blah, blah. And what kind of answer do they get? I'm sorry, we don't issue acceptance letters. That's a shame. So I did further work in this, and what I found is there are about the first layer of LGUs, or maybe the second, there are about 120 or so. And I'm going to show a link down below where you can get that listing. But below those, there are a lot more. And I'm going to show you how you can find out. There's also a link on how to get to this website. This is a website by DILG. What you have to do once you get to this website and that link, this link here, I'm going to put down below so you can access it, is to put where you think you're going. Where are you going? You're going to Manila? Okay. So you type in Manila. Look, city of Manila. And here you will see a brief history of Manila and all kinds of information. And look, they have the police phone numbers, but I don't see any LGU. I don't see any LGU. And I have yet to see something that has email in here. So the problem you have is either you call somebody you know in the Philippines and have them make the phone calls for you. You can send them this link and ask them to call these numbers for you to see who's issuing the so-called acceptance letter. Let's look at another one. Oh, look at the barangays within Manila. Look at that. A lot of them. So are you supposed to get it from the barangay, and do they know what you will be asking for? That's a question. What kind of information do they have here? There's nothing that we'll be interested in. Look at the number of barangays in Manila. Look at that. Look at that. A lot, okay? And of course, Isko Moreno is the mayor, so maybe you can contact Isko Moreno. But I tried to contact him before. It took almost a month for me to get a response. Oh, through Facebook. A lot of people say, oh, it's so easy. Everybody has a Facebook account. Go to the Facebook. You go to the Facebook account, and guess what? You have to dig through it and see if you can find the information. At the end of the day, you may not even find it. Why? What do they have there? A lot of chit-chat. Somebody's birthday. Somebody got promoted. Oh, offices are closed. That is not a place for this kind of information. Very, very unfortunate. But let's look at another one. Let's say you're going to Zamboanga. I think I tried Zamboanga before. Click that and put. Okay. There are several regions in Zamboanga. Zamboanga City, Del Sur, Zamboanga del Norte, Province of Zamboanga del Sur. How is that different? Oh, this one is Zamboanga City. And this one is Province of Zamboanga Sibugay. Never heard of that. But let's say you're going to Zamboanga City del Sur. You click on that. Now, this is nice. So they have an LGU. So there is the phone number. Okay? And all this fire and police, you don't need that. This is what you're looking for, LGU. Again, no email address. Let's pull another example. Let's say you're going to Sorsogon. City of Sorsogon, capital, province of Sorsogon. So let's go to this city because you're not going to the province. Let's say you're going to the city of Sorsogon. You click on that. Or maybe LGU, they're looking for provincial LGU. Let's see how that goes. But here is the city of Sorsogon. There's an LGU number here, phone number. Maybe that's the one. This is how quickly you can find it if only they organize it this way, uniformly, and preferably if they have email. Email is free nowadays. All you need is internet access, and guess what? Anybody who's walking on the street have email on their cell phone. It's unbelievable. And of course, I would prefer for them not to put an email than for them to put an email and then nobody's monitoring it. Nobody's responding. That is very frustrating. So if they're going to do that, meaning not respond to email, they might as well not put any email. But see, they're making it so difficult for the people. I wish they could do better than that. Now, for example, here's an LGU phone number. I hope somebody is answering the phone. Here in the United States, Philippine consulates, nope, they don't answer the phone. You leave a message, they don't answer, they don't return calls. Very, very frustrating indeed. So I think, let's see, City of Sorsogon, let's see. So there's an LGU for the City of Sorsogon, okay? Let me see. For the province of Sorsogon, see, they also have an LGU. I don't know, I did not write the number down, maybe it's the same number. But are you supposed to get, when they say you have to get something from LGU, are you supposed to get it from the provincial office, from the city office? I don't know. People who are in the Philippines maybe know. So ask your relatives, ask somebody if they know. But us, who is far away from the Philippines and have been far away for a while, how do we know how they operate? How do we know how they run? That's the issue. The other thing is, as I mentioned, you can try putting down Facebook and then Manila. Then see Manila, let me see, Facebook, Information Office. Okay, click on that one, let's say. Information Office. Okay, do they have email here or contact information, vaccines? Look at the Public Information Office. If only you can find a phone number, you can call that number and hopefully they'll be able to direct you. Good luck. But hopefully they'll be able to direct you to the right office who knows, who has answers to the question you have. Pages, Business Services, Manila Information, Public Government. What I was talking about earlier in my earlier blog is that they should have, or let's say the Department of Foreign Affairs or Immigration Office should have their own website strictly dedicated for this purpose. That's the amount of frustration I have over the system that we have. And all they can do, they can still do whatever they want to do, but as soon as their web page comes up, the home page, there should be an icon says immigration information, travelers information, whatever. That's it. Now let's take a look at some other comments from viewers. Here's a comment. This was yesterday. Okay, so when they say 2 hours ago, it's not from today. This is yesterday. This is all yesterday. From the most incompetent country, along with its leaders, that I have ever visited. The government itself has no clue what's going on in the Philippines. The mindset of its leaders leaves you to believe it's all about the money. Oh, and forget the consulates because they all have their own rules. That's why I said centralize it, so everybody's saying the same thing, dancing to the same tune. I myself dealt with this firsthand. Ron, they want to make that 4,000 pesos plus hotel expenses. The government is corrupt. What else do you expect? Because of all this, I'll call it stupidity, people have no faith. That happens in the US too. Because of this politicking going on, nobody wants to believe the vaccines. Okay? Charlie. Hi, Blogger Grandpa. I've talked to my best friend in Cebu yesterday. Her sister works at the airport in Cebu. I asked her about the quarantine in Cebu. She said it's 8 days quarantine now because the IATF enforced them to do 8 days quarantine. Binago na naman ng IATF ang protocols. Only non-OFW or OFW residents of Cebu can do the 2 to 3 day quarantine, then go home to their LGU. I don't know if this is true or I don't know if this is old news because I thought I heard the governor talk in YouTube. It was in YouTube yesterday. And I think it's for anybody, even tourists, will be subject to 2 to 3 days. That's it. I have no idea. And that's why I'm sort of reluctant to keep on updating. Number one, it confuses people because the rules keeps on changing. Number two, I don't know which is real and which is not real. There is no official website. It's all on YouTube, or, well, at least that is a little bit more official because I can see them talking. But then you have this Facebook, and anybody can post something on Facebook. That's the only information I have. And by the way, my brother has he's a lay Dominican, and he wrote a book on catechism. And down below, I'm putting a link. If you want to get a free, it's a very nice ebook. If you want to get a free copy of the ebook, feel free to request. Free, no donation required, and it's colorful, and it's not boring. It's very easy to read, so feel free to get that down below. It's also suitable for reading by children, so it's good for you to give it to your children. With the problems we're having in government and in the world, not only in the US, but in the Philippines as well, in India, we need to go back to our religion. And I know most Filipinos are Christians, Catholic, and I will appreciate it if you do request for a copy of that book. It's free and it's nice. Thank you so much again, and please give this to other people who might be interested in the same information, and I'll appreciate it if you can click like and do subscribe to my channel unless you have already done so. And thank you so much for my supporters. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make it a great day. God bless.